Hey, what's up guys? This is Alessio from Dev Experience at Snap. As you can notice, this setup is a little bit more upgraded comparing to the previous videos. I decided to step up after a lot of very positive feedback that I received from a lot of developers that really told me videos really help because there is such a quick and evolving ecosystem in Snap. Maybe we're not too familiar with certain things, so your format is a lot more digestible than maybe seeing a bunch of written information and just find them around. We really do our best to provide you with a lot of documentation for all of the features that you can use on Snap, but I understand also that on Spectacles, sorry, but I also understand that could be sometimes overwhelming, and so we are here to give you more material that can be helpful for you. I hope you really enjoyed this format that I'm going to keep doing and sharing a lot of good resources for you and to build more lenses. So something I want to talk about this time is really this latest release about AI and machine learning for augmented reality. This is really, even personally, I think this moment in augmented reality feels very magical because a lot of things that in the previous years were not possible out of the box, now they are. Some years ago, of course, without AI, you couldn't just specialize information and have such intelligent object tracking. Because technology evolved, also you couldn't run machine models on very small devices, on standalone devices like Spectacles, and a lot more. Right, this moment really it starts to feel the beginning for me for a new chapter of augmented reality, and this release really tackled this new narrative of AI and XR together. So I'm really pumped about this release. I want to go through just some of the major points of this release. There is a lot more actually that we are releasing. This was a very dense release, so I cannot go through everything, but I hope to give you just a way to understand what is possible now and how to get there very quickly. So let's go through the June SnapOS update, AI times XR. The first point is one of the major ones, and is the OpenAI, Gemini, and Snap hosted open source integration. What does it mean? It's not just connecting to OpenAI and Gemini. These are just some of the services, and I'm pretty sure that in the future there will be more. This is really just a way to safely publish the application using features like AI and camera models. So you know that because augmented reality glasses are incredible, but also they bring up a lot of privacy issues and concerns. You certainly don't want everyone being able to do everything because it would really lead to bad use cases. But with this way, what we do is basically provide you a redirect through our services. This service is called Remote Service Gateway. It's really easy to implement. You can just import from the asset library this model, and you just generate a token, and this will be your token that will allow you to just connect to every service. And for now, there is no charge, so take advantage of this moment. Seems like there is no plans for changing things, so if I were you, I would give it a shot. But it really allows you to bypass that experimental API moment that we had with some of our features. We still have it going on for other features, but really this allows you to publish things in the store and really distribute to more developers and to your audience. So this is an incredible improvement of quality in terms of first building comfortably augmented reality application with AI. There are a lot of samples that I'm going to go through, and this is all done for you. You just really need to apply all of this technology to your use cases, and I can't wait to see what you're building with this stuff. But also allow you to distribute, which is really the most important thing. We want to create a strong ecosystem. We want you to be able to reach a lot of people. The second point is the depth caching API. Even this part is very instrumental to enable augmented reality use cases. You might have seen already a lot of demos online, and those demos are things that really makes me think that augmented reality is here to become mainstream very soon, right? Because it just looks very good, everything I see here. Like these demos where, first of all, let me give you a little bit of a background around the depth cache API. So if you are familiar with our samples, and if you're not, no worries, we posted some times ago some kind of remote object detection samples where you would be able to call external API, Hugging Face, and interface with those APIs to call something like YOLO and just detect object in space. And when you detect them, you just not get a log message, but also you get a nice square perfectly put on top of the object that you're detecting. Distance between your camera and the object is calculated with a lot of different ways. So far, we took advantage of another model, which is basically the raycasting in the world query model. We noticed a lot of discrepancies using this model, so we really put a lot of work, and we created this sort of new API, which is called Depth API, and allows you to accurately places things in space in front of you. This I also tested it myself on update. Actually, I want to go through some of those resources because I've been preparing a very substantial tutorial for using SnapML, which stands for Snap Machine Learning. And we implemented that depth API in multiple of our templates, and things really improve and feels magical when you use these lenses with the glasses. The third point is really like SnapML, which, if you're not familiar with this word, means Snap Machine Learning. This allows you to build, to run local machine learning model on the glasses. Also, this is quite incredible to think. If you think about previous headsets out there or previous glasses, I actually never seen something like that. Very rarely I've seen things running locally and this good. So even this is a new paradigm of creating lenses. You can run ONX model on the glasses, and we have a full flow that allows you to just easily train the model on your vertical use case and then deploy it on the glasses. And it really takes very little to make something very powerful. We also have a lot of new things coming within these three features. You can create 3D objects, and now we're going to go through the sample. You can also, in this release, we also sneaked in the Bluetooth Low Energy API, which allows you to plug in devices to Spectacle. So even here, these are multiple releases in one. If you ask me, there are a lot of different topics coming together. We also have a navigation kit, which put together the indoor custom location and outdoor navigation example we had before, but in a more robust way. So now you will see also in our documentation the navigation kit instead of just like single sample. So everything really is coming together super nicely. We also have a translation lens that allows you to really experience the magic of talking to someone that doesn't speak your language or vice versa and have a whole conversation. This is incredible, it feels magical. I tried it myself, so really something that you should experience yourself to understand what it means. And then we have a lot of community lenses, right? Wisp World by Liquid City also uses a lot of the AI model. Cookmate by Headdraft also uses a lot of AI in creating recipes for you. Plantapal, same. You can basically talk to a plant with AI. And then we have Super Travel by Goa, where it's sort of a suite of tools that when you go travel, you can also, they're of course powered by AI, but it has a lot of little models that you can take advantage when you're traveling somewhere that you're not familiar. And Pool Assist. So let's get into some of the visuals here. So this is a demo of the depth cache lens that I was mentioning before. Look how intelligent is this lens in placing information in space. Actually, it's incredible to try it and see just thing that works so good. Here we have another one. It's explained how to use the depth caching. As you can see, this lens is very general, meaning that wherever you go, you just talk to your AI assistant, or however you want to call it, and there is material virtual information that are instantiated in space, and those information makes a lot of sense. It's not random stuff there. It really makes sense, and you start to really understand the potential of these tools, right? And how easy it is for you to wear glasses and just do and explore the context around you. So as I mentioned, you have some Snap Machine Learning sample project. This means basically that, let me explain a little bit what's going on in here. So this is a starter project which allows you to detect the monitor and then based on that detection doing something. In this case, what we're doing is just shifting UI when a screen is in front of you. This is something that we thought it was useful because sometimes if you're dealing with, you're just like using your phone or you're using your monitor, you're using your laptop, you see a screen and there is an overlap of augmented reality, digital informations and the information that you're working with. So you just shift it whenever that monitor is detected. This is done running entirely on the device. It's very smart and it just allows you with this little tweak to do something quite crucial, quite powerful. Another example is to play chess with AI hints. So this is a mix of Snap Machine Learning and also some calls to OpenAI or Gemini. These two things together really allows you to do things like tracking perfectly all of the chess pieces on the board. And not only that, but because we have all of the position of the chess pieces on the board, we also get very smart guidance on how to play or how to win. Same applies to pool. So look at this sample, tracking object in motion every frame, and things are very accurate. Of course, if you're moving with your glasses so much, things could just bounce a little bit, but this is just meant to be improved in the future. And to me, this is really impressive to see. even when you try, things are at the right distance, they are there, they are uploading, they are updating every frame, and things are just like stick to the object. It's incredible to me to think that this is very easily possible. And then we have also this 3D generation in here, which is part of, let's go a little bit in our sample repository for a second. And shout out to Mitchell that did incredible work in this AI playground sample. We have a lot of new ones, by the way, like this. If you just took a look at our sample repository as a completely new face, we have the AI playground, depth cache. Let me see what other stuff we have. All of the SnapML samples, the navigation kit. We have also a new connected lens example for laser tags because it was one of the most required feature in hackathons. So not directly connected to this release, but we also really listen to developers and we really try to share things to help you and to just fill those gaps that you might find. And also we have this incredible Bluetooth sample. So now you can actually connect things to the glasses. And look how crazy is this. We're manipulating lights with your hands. It's really like a different paradigm of building an augmented reality application. I'm excited about this one. But let's go back in here and let's click on the AI playground. So you have basically 3 choices. You can just use a chat completion. You can use image generation, or you can use 3D model generation. So this is all part of one template and you can just decide what to do. Here, there is a lot of explanation. We also try really to document things for you to understand what to do. It's not just dropping stuff in there, but really like try to make things accessible and readable. And here you will see a lot more resources in this README. You'll see here the generative image example and so on. So all of these things usually are models that developers ask and we provide them as a snippet, but here we have very complete examples of all of this stuff. Let's take a look at the depth cache. This is the sample that you probably see in already quite a lot of Twitter demos. And if you didn't see it there, just take a look how incredible is the fact that it gets these 3 objects perfectly in front of you and just tells you things that are very informative. I really challenge you to try this template, try to break this template, try to use it in other places where you think it's gonna fail and just get surprised when you actually get out very incredible information out of it. So very smart template. What do we have? Oh, let's go into SnapML. So SnapML, these 2 examples here are quite advanced. There is quite a setup to put it together. Definitely not a starter if it's the first time that you're doing it, but if you want to just copy the structure of how things are when you're tracking multiple objects or when you want to like insert AI with object detection, this is a perfect setup for you to learn from. If you want something to start with, we also have that is called SnapML Starter. Here we have a lot of resources, and just to give you an understanding, we guide you from the beginning to the end. All of this workflow, it also works in editor, so you can test things in editor. And this is just an understanding of what's going on under the hood. There is a monitor in front of you and it's really tracked perfectly. And we also have a lot of improvements in terms of raw detection and smoothing. So we really teach you how to take some data and if it's not perfect, actually make app level improvement for your use cases. We also, actually this sample actually is being updated with the latest depth API. And the moment when we actually released this tutorial, by the way, guide you through, these are 40 minutes that guide you from beginning to the end of how to use SnapML on spectacles. When we did this tutorial, which was really just some days ago, we didn't lock yet the depth API model, but we also updated this template to use the depth API model. So it's a quite radical improvement. If you ask me, it's a lot more reliable and we included it for you here. And please go wild and build some cool lenses. So what else? Let me go back in the Snap update. This is just an example of the translation lens. So how impressive is that you are going to understand who is talking in front of you and is speaking a different language, and you can just try to, there are different modes of this application. You can try to answer in their languages, so learning in your languages and try to really keep up with the conversation. Or if you want to, you can just directly translate your language in their language and vice versa. So even this is a new paradigm of interaction for language translation. I'm really curious to see what people come out with. I saw a lot of different application of this concept from a lot of developers that are working with us. So I'm very excited to see what you do. And here we have the BLE API experiment. That this is still in experimental mode, but still look at what's possible here. You have basically a color wheel and you can change the color of lights that are in front of you. So that makes you think about a future where everything is interactable through glasses. You don't have remote controls and you just can do very easily things using hand tracking. So even here, a lot of new possibilities. This is a fun game. This still takes advantage of the Bluetooth API. And then the navigation kit. Navigation kit tries really to tackle this release need of mapping large indoor spaces as well. So this demo was shot at LACMA. So we just took as a destination an art piece, and you get from the beginning to the end. There is just some pathfinding indication for you to arrive at destination. So this is also something I've seen a lot in hackathons. A lot of requests goes in this direction. Oh, I want to make like a guided tour or something like that. And this really gives you all the tools you need to do very well. We have a lot of system UI improvement as well. You might have noticed this is still the language translation. And we have a lot of very cool lenses made by our partners. Wispworld and Steel. And they're all, by the way, they're all integrating the AI in very smart ways. Here there is more of an assistant, more of a game. This is more of an AI assistant that allows you to cook things in the kitchen based on, it gets a lot of ingredients, and then those ingredients are captured, and then there is the AI that does something in the background and gives you a very smart way for you to cook with those ingredients. This is what I was talking about before. This is Plantapal by Sunflow VR. Incredible work by our developers, by the way. You see all of the credits here. A Draft, Liquid City, Goa. They're very useful if you are somewhere else and you just want to learn about certain informations. Very straightforward. All of these apps, in my opinion, have something in common that really they don't try to overcome reality, just like replace reality, but it's more like it's really like an augmentation. I feel like you can do things a lot easier. It's like when you're coding with ChatGPT, I feel like you can do so much more because now you have this power to just prompt something and then there is this agent that does things for you for 10 minutes. Not really that level yet, but at the same time, you have the impression that you can do more than what you could do without. So that's, for me, an incredible win for the augmented reality wagon. So here I also I'm not done, guys, so there is a lot, and I also gonna probably leave something out from this release. Another very cool thing, if you ask me, is the fact that now in Lens Studio 5.10.1, I think it also works in 5.10, but update to the latest one, no matter what, you have a completely different UI for the homepage in Lens Studio. Before it wasn't that clear, before it was a little bit confusing, the fact that we had samples for snapshot versus spectacles. So we really listened to developers and we tried to improve the way you start your experience in Lens Studio. Of course, you will pick spectacles here if you're interested in developing augmented reality application on glasses. And look at this. We also have all of our samples mirrored right away for you into Lens Studio. What happens if I click on ones? Well, if you click on one, things just open as you would do it when you download all of the sample repo. I hope that this pumped you up for your adventure on spectacles. If you have any concern or you don't know where to start, you know that we are always available on Reddit. Don't be a stranger. We really love our developers and we love to empower you with incredible tools.